This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Sing! Hey there! In red it's Alex, in yellow it's the Ramble. It's Alex with the Ramble! Yeah! Yay! Yay! Hello! Welcome to another week of frustration. Okay. Another week of doing this. What more can I say? Okay. Anyway, God, a little shadow on my tooth here. This is not a cavity. I always look, at myself here and just try to, I think should I go back to wearing a hat? I don't know. Well, we'll ask our guest here, who is. Let me see here. Let me just bring him in here. There we go. It's Phil Meyer, and I think, yeah. Oh, what are those balloons for? What did you?
Well, I'm challenging Biden to come shoot him down.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a bunch of Chinese balloons behind me.
Mm-hmm.
China's not the only one that can fly balloons.
I gotta say, that story just absolutely is the most ridiculous story I have heard in years. And, to begin with, they're saying, the spy balloons. Okay, to begin with, a spy is something that's covert, that you don't know is there, and it's looking at you, right? How could you miss this thing?
Well, you couldn't miss it. It was Biden's inaction that was missed, or it was Biden's action that was missed because all he had was inaction. But
what do you mean inaction? To begin with, they shot down a $5 balloon with a $600,000 missile. Okay, that's for starters. Secondly, I listen to the military and I'm just appalled at them. They say, that was spying on things. They could see cows in Montana, and they could see wheat in Kansas,
and our nuclear arsenals.
Yes, right. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do these guys, or do they not, have a space station hovering above the world?
Yeah, but it's looking the other way.
Wait a minute. And can they see those same nuclear?
Oh, sure they could.
Absolutely. So, what is with this? Oh, gee, they're spying on us. With a balloon? Give me a goddamn break.
Balloons work. Look,
but they didn't notice that on the back of the balloon it said "Gunge Fat Choi."
Yeah, really. The Biden missed a lot during his speech.
I didn't even watch it. Did you watch it?
Here, look at this one. That's the first lady and the second husband. And do you see the tongue insertion?
Who made that up? It's
a legit thing. It was on all the news services. If you Google Jill Biden's kiss to first husband, this is what you get. And they got video of it, too.
What's so terrible about that?
Well, did you notice that Kamala, you didn't watch it, but Kamala got up several times because she saw it and she wanted to go kill him, but the Secret Service wouldn't let her do it. That was, when you give someone
you're reading, something you're reading into
No. When you give someone a kiss in this kind of situation, it's on the cheek. It's not tongue down the throat.
So, it's a very nice, warm thing that she's doing there.
Oh, yeah. It's extremely warm.
Oh, come on. Quit being...
Hey,
when you do that sort of thing...
I'm surprised. Well, you know what they called that? It was a wife swap. Think about it.
You think that's hilarious?
Yeah.
You really do.
Well, look at the fun that they made out of Trump when he commented on Macron's wife having a nice rack. And she does, by the way.
That's different.
Well, how is that different than the first lady tongue kissing?
No, she's not tongue kissing. You just admitted she was kissing him on the cheek.
No, she wasn't. I said she should have kissed him on the cheek, but what I see here is tongue down the throat, and this is mutual combatants here, and in public.
Boy, what you see in
hey, you should Google it. You'll see.
You didn't get anything. I didn't see the speech, but I understood that he said that we should all learn to start getting along.
Oh, and they certainly are.
I find what you're saying in terribly bad taste.
Well, of course, I'm a Republican. You think everything I say is in bad taste?
No, I think it's in bad taste.
Biden's speech wasn't bad, but it was given by ChatGPT. What do you think of this ChatGPT stuff? I think, maybe
you notice how he shifted from making the joke to asking about it because he knew the joke didn't work.
Oh, I thought the joke worked just fine. Let's see. Live chat. Hello, Brian says. Happy Wednesday. All right. Oh, Scott Boddicker says Phil's humor is the best. Hey, and if it's coming from Scott, it must be.
Yeah. Well,
but in a serious note.
On a serious note.
Yeah. Have you looked into this ChatGPT stuff?
Yes.
I think it's pretty interesting.
I think it doesn't work very well.
How is that?
I asked it to write something. I asked it to write a biography on me.
Really?
It got all of it wrong.
Well, I had heard that there was some technical papers that it wrote, and people who were in that field said it was about 85% right.
Well, I don't think it's ready for prime time yet. Okay, I think it's being greatly overstated, and if that's going to be the nature of the world, that's going to be the nature of the world. Okay.
Now, what would happen if you put on a show that was generated by ChatGPT? You think it could do that?
A show? What do you mean?
Yeah, you could have it generate a voice.
No, ChatGPT doesn't do that.
Well, yeah, it takes.
No, it will only do written word.
Oh, but written word can be put to voice.
Oh boy, it's not ready for prime time. Okay, it's people are going, oh, kids are going to cheat in school and so on. Well, they've still got to go through it and see where it's making mistakes, and it's got to correct them. And in order to do that, it has to pretty well figure out, what's right, what's wrong, and so on and so forth. So there's a process you got to go with after the fact. That is, you don't just have it write something and then turn the paper in.
Yeah, I'm sure you got to edit, but how do you get this ChatGPT, and how do you
just type into your browser
service?
In your browser, just type in ChatGPT.
Yeah,
and it comes up.
Wow. There are projects that I've wanted to work on at work, like putting together a manual to give to customers on how to find the store.
I wouldn't trust it yet. It's not ready for that. No. You're going to then have to feed it a whole bunch of information. What these people want is not to have to feed it any information at all. I could say, write an essay on Alex Bennett in the style of F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Okay. Glenda, I think, was her name, right? Who was the girl that F. Scott Fitzgerald went after in his novels? Was it Glenda or
his wife, which was now you got me.
It's been since the 70s that I read that stuff.
Let's see here. Chat GBT. Okay, and ChatGPT, optimizing language, okay. try Chat GBT. Okay. Let me. My session is expired. Okay, I will log in. Let's see. Ahoy, matey. We've been having a scurry of dogs checking out. Landlord, we may be sorry for any inconvenience we may be causing. Notify when we're back. Oh, it's down.
Oh, wow. And this is owned by Meta, the Facebook company?
No, it's owned by Microsoft. They bought into it.
I see.
They don't own it, but they bought into it. Chat GBT. Let's see.
I think, that this is pretty exciting stuff. It may not be ready for prime time, but, nothing, even the light bulb didn't start out working the way it does today when it was first invented.
Yeah. It's not doing it right now. I was going to write in something and I'd show you that it doesn't work that well, It
probably works better than me. If it wasn't for Siri, I couldn't spell anything.
Log in. Okay, continue. And then I'm logged in now. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, text completion. Okay. Well, let me see here. I guess I could do that.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get to it, and I can't find the I signed up. I am signed up.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't make it work right now.
You can't get into it. Yeah.
No. But it's probably got problems too. But I found it was totally inefficient. All right, when I tried using it.
Well, because it didn't give you the results that you wanted.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
I said do a 500 word essay on Alex Bennett, and it started coming up with me working at stations I never worked at. Every bit of it was wrong.
But it would have to have gotten that information from somewhere.
It got the basic information, but it said, for instance, that I was at WABC in New York. I was never at WABC in New York.
Well, you were at WABC FM.
No.
Well,
PLJ, which was not WABC. It was called WABC FM at one time, but not when I worked at it.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. I haven't tried anything with it. I was just thought that it's kind of an exciting lead to the future of
what? Of what future?
Well, look, you can't hire anybody anymore. People say they don't want to work the kind of jobs that are available.
Well, how is this going to translate into that? The chat what is it? GBT isn't able to sell carpet.
No, but what it's able to do is sell hamburgers, and it's able to.
What do you mean it's able to sell hamburgers? What do you mean, Phil?
Let's say you pull up to a McDonald's drive-in. I know you don't have a car, so this is something that you haven't fathomed for a while. They do have drive-ins now, and so you drive into the line, you pull up to a box, and some computer program asks you to place your order. You place your order. It says, "Thank you. Have a pleasant day." It's $9.95 for a small burger.
That has nothing to do with chat.
Yeah,
it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Phil. I know more about this stuff than you do.
Well, I'm sure you do. That's why I ask.
And I got Charlie. I got Charlie waiting on the line right now. He could set you straight.
Hey, I am straight. Unlike.
Wait a minute. Let me bring Charlie in here. Let's see if he's here. if he's ready and he could talk. Let me see here.
Charlie says 594 COVID deaths.
Yeah. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Set him straight on chat
GBT
and what it can do and can't do.
And Alex, you were lucky that when you brought Charlie on, he had his pants on.
What's going on?
What do you mean? Can you hear
Alex
us?
Is trying to ask you a question.
I'm trying.
I was still at the other thing. Okay, yes. What's the question?
Well, he's brought up chat GBT. And he's trying to assign to it all kinds of things that it might be able to do, and he's completely wrong. Like sell hamburgers at McDonald's.
I don't know. This is that AI program, right?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I just heard about it today for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's written technical papers and very complicated ones that these experts said had 85% accuracy.
What does that have to do with anything?
And 85, and when you're writing technical papers, 85% accuracy is no accuracy at all.
Well, look, it's the beginning. Do you think everything works 100% the first, the first efforts?
It's a little toy, okay, at this point.
Well, so was the home computer. But, now they're more powerful than what we sent
the home computer was never a toy.
I had a 4K Commodore PET, and it was a toy.
You could, but you could do actual computing on the Commodore PET.
Yeah, yes, you could.
And it was only a toy if you chose to use it that way.
Yeah. Well, I had lists of.
Listen, when it comes to technology, don't talk to me about it, Phil.
Right. All I know is I'm intrigued by the possibilities that ChatGPT has.
What, that stupid people could now write term papers?
Yes, and right here.
It's just a computer program, and in the end, that's all it is. And so it learns, but it's still a computer program, and so you can't assign to it abilities that computer programs don't have.
Yes, but if it learns and can put together information, and it did it according to these experts, it did it in a matter of minutes or seconds.
Every review by experts I've seen of GBT. Every review I've ever seen by experts is that it's not ready for prime time. That it has distinct limitations, and 85% accuracy is no accuracy at all when it comes to writing a term paper.
Exactly.
Well,
it's a B-.
It's a D-. Exactly.
D's get degrees. Just don't forget that.
No, they don't actually.
No. They didn't in my case either, right? But I did get the D's.
Yeah. But no, I mean, AI it's interesting. I mean, what I think is amazing are what they're doing with deep fakes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's some interesting AI. I saw a thing the other day where they took the scene from what do you call it? Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
With John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson in the room with those guys.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a tasty burger.
It's a tasty burger, and so on. Yeah. And there's a guy in the other room, if you may remember, sitting there has a gun, and
he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, well, they replaced his face with Jerry Seinfeld's, and I got to tell you, it's convincing.
Really,
it's convincing.
I'm going to have to see that one.
Yeah, just go on to YouTube. Has it?
Yeah. Well, YouTube has everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's amazing, just amazing. Yeah.
Well, Alan took me to dinner Monday night.
How we were talking about one thing, and you suddenly go, Alan took me.
Well, Alan paid, so I mean.
Gee, I took my wife out to lunch today.
Yeah, did you pay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I knew there was a reason she'd stick with you.
She's not working anymore. I got more money than she does, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that Biden's speech, he was yelling at people. It was ChatGPT.
Wait a minute. He was yelling at people? How about the people yelling at him? I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what a cunt.
Oh, when he was talking about the border, people were yelling. I think they yelled, "You failed," and things like that. I thought it was great.
Yes, Charlie, set him straight.
Actually, who was it? That new congressman, the real young guy, asked border guards, has the policies at the border changed one bit from when Donald Trump was president, and they all said no. That's the exact same policy at the border that they had under Donald Trump.
Yep.
What border guard was that they found?
It was the supervisor of border guards. There were at least 2 of them there in the meeting that I saw.
Well, there's hundreds of them that I see on the news
on Fox that goes.
Yes, on Fox. So you get 2.
Listen to Charlie. He knows what he's talking about.
The policy has not changed. Joe Biden has not changed one rule having to do. There is no open border.
No, he has not. You're right. He has not changed one rule. He just hasn't enforced any of them.
Well, show me that. Show me that. I don't see that.
Well, yeah, I can show you that there's millions.
His job is only to give the rules. His job is not to enforce them.
Well, yes, it is.
No, it isn't. He can't.
Well, why are there hundreds of thousands?
What do you want him to do? Go down there and stand at the border and enforce it?
Yes, he hasn't done that yet either. But there's hundreds of thousands of people crossing illegally, and thousands that aren't even been encountered.
Crossing the border now than were crossing under Donald Trump.
Yeah, except the ones that were crossing under Donald Trump got sent back and were told to stay in Mexico.
You know what's amazing? What's amazing about you?
If you look at the data,
what's amazing? What's amazing about you, Phil, is here you got a guy who lives in Texas. He's intimately aware of this situation. It's happening to his. Hold on, it's happening to his state. Okay, where's El Paso? Okay,
it's in Texas, but where's Austin? It's in Liberalville, right?
Austin is a lot closer to the border than Florida.
Yeah, what's that?
Florida's where they've been exporting people from Texas to send up to New York.
They've been sending them from Texas to Florida, and Florida's been sending them to New York.
Well, they're nice. They want to send them to places where they want them. But I noticed that Charlie has his lights on. And
finally,
yeah. So is it the weather that caused these issues?
No, they just hooked up Abbott's wheelchair to the grid.
So when he pushes it.
Yeah.
It sucked up all the power, and all the rest of us were in the dark.
Yeah. Well, if you pay that light bill, maybe they'll turn it on.
Oh, that's what's funny too, is while my lights were off, they've been off for 3 days. Guess what I received in the mail?
A bill.
I got my electric bill. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about your electric bill, but mine doubled this month, and it wasn't because of extra usage. The bill, I have a 2-bedroom, 1,000-square-foot apartment. It's not on the top floor, so I'm surrounded by other apartments, and it's comfortable. $237. Of that bill, only 101 was electric. The rest was delivery charges.
Mm-hmm. How much was your bill?
$237.
Yeah, mine was over 300. So don't.
Yeah, but you got a 2,500 square foot apartment, and I'm living in 1,000 square feet. And you got 6 TVs. I got 1, that I use.
Excuse me, I only have 5 TVs.
Oh, did one break?
No, it's 5 TVs.
But how many computers do you have on at the same time?
In this room, 1, 2, 3, 4.
NASA doesn't have that many computers.
Oh, Lord.
Actually, these computers I have here don't use much electricity.
Yeah.
This one barely gets warm. The one I'm using for the show.
One?
Yeah. And a couple of the other ones, they're not using a major amount of electricity. So
the garbage can gets warm.
Well, garbage can gets very warm. I have her computer now is the garbage can. I hooked up the old
it's still a great computer.
Oh yeah, it's a great computer.
I have a computer I leave on all the time. I have a television that I leave on all the time. And I don't even have a cable box. the heat issues. It doesn't really get cold enough that you need the heat. And I have a blanket that warm air.
I don't even use electricity for heat because they have
steam.
They have radiators. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so your bill is outrageous also when you think about it.
Well, it is a big apartment, and I mean, and Marjorie leaves a lot of the TV sets on, which is kind of.
Is it true? And Charlie might know this as well as you. Turning the TV on and off is what makes it wear out. Leaving it on doesn't.
No,
doesn't.
You're absolutely wrong.
Really?
The problem is leaving your TV set plugged in uses up electricity because they're always on. All you're doing when you flip the switch is it's simply closing a circuit and letting the picture come onto the tube. But basically, the TV sets are always on. Am I right, Charlie?
They draw a lot of power just sitting there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have LED, or it's not plasma. I think it's.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is TV sets are always on. You know how they said, at what time they started having TV sets? They were instant on TV sets.
Right.
And the reason they were instant on is because they were always on. You just flipped a switch to get them working completely, completing the circuit. The thing is that if you didn't have that way, it would take about 30 seconds for your TV set to warm up.
Was that in the day of the tube TV rather than the...
the tube TV, but now, I mean, the same thing is true.
The same thing now, though.
Actually, the tube TVs don't eat up as much electricity as... it used up more electricity than these current sets, these big LEDs, They don't use
they had a capacitor in the back that if you touched it, you could get electrocuted. Or at least that's what my mother said.
Well, she wanted you to touch it.
Yeah, touch that.
But I mean, you just have to understand, Phil, that there's some people that know more about science right here on this show, right now.
All I know is the Jim Browning spot that you do on me. Yes. It's all coming true. Chinese drone army.
Yeah, right. No, it's not a Chinese drone army. What the balloon? Just that story. It's such a non-story. It's such a non-story because when I hear the Army say to me, well, it was dangerous because they could be spying on nuclear plants and so on, and I'm going, something? They've got a goddamn space station. They can see everything down here with a pair of high strength binoculars, I mean, they can see it all. They don't need the balloon to tell them that stuff. Am I right, Charlie?
That's exactly right. They can see anything they want to see from their satellites.
And then again, I said you shoot down a lousy party balloon that maybe costs $1.50, and you shoot it down with a $600,000 missile. That's really good, isn't it?
When's the last time you bought a balloon for $1.50?
Yeah, well,
that's
anyway.
like taking the subway for 15 cents.
The thing is that it's a great balloon. It's a terrific balloon.
I guess.
Well, they can hold three buses worth of equipment. I mean, it's a huge payload it had. The one that they shot down. Yeah.
Well, they're supposedly finding over the debris field parts of it, and we'll see whether it was.
I don't care what they find or what they say they find. The fact is, it was a stupid thing to begin with. To begin with, they've had those balloons going up there for years now, and Trump didn't shoot one down.
No,
and they knew there was one, and they knew there was one back in Trump's presidency.
Yeah.
Actually, although three that he didn't shoot down.
Yeah, that one had a banner that said "Elect Trump" on it. In the World War II.
Yeah, move on fast because that wasn't funny.
Yeah, there were Nazi subs that went in on the coast of New Jersey, South Carolina, even New York Harbor. There were these U-boats, and some of them were sunk. I read a book called Shadow
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
The Chinese sent over a balloon to spy on us. there were U-boats from
Could
the
it,
Nazis.
you know something, under any other circumstances, that balloon would be identified as and told to be a weather balloon. But because the United States wants to make a big deal out of it, it's a spy balloon. But really, in reality, it's a weather balloon, and it didn't have any more going for it than any other weather balloon, which a lot of times they send up to get meteorological information. I'm sure that's what China was doing here. They can't guide that thing. They can't guide that thing over a nuclear plant or anything like that. They have to go wherever the trade winds take it.
Well, then why did it its path cross so many?
It's just because that's where the wind blew it.
All right.
Because you can't send one of those balloons. You can't dictate where that balloon goes. You send it up, and it gets carried by trade winds. Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, the guy that owns Virgin Atlantic. What's his name? He's a balloonist, and he flies all over in balloons.
Yeah,
helium balloons. Oh, look, Tony's glowing.
Tony, go get a rag.
It's my old laptop. I put Linux on it. Can you really see me clear?
No.
Oh, you got fog all over.
If you would clean it. Oh, now it's worse. Now you smeared it.
What did you do? Rub your seeds on it?
That's much better. Much better. Just stay there.
That could be. There's nothing wrong with this picture. It's just the radiation from the seeds.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
And I was in recovery, and they gave me my phone. It was at the desk, and I was listening to the show, half out of it. How can you say The Wizard of Oz wasn't great? It's like, lady's like, what are you talking about? My brother was coming to pick me up. They gave me the phone.
Okay, so wait a minute. You had your seeds, right?
Yeah, I was in recovery, so she gave me the phone.
Okay, well, don't let any children sit on your lap.
That's what she told Alex. I tested the guy, Alex. What you said. Remember you said, does he know?
What do you mean you tested the guy? What do you mean you tested the guy?
He's talking about his doctor.
Remember when you said
tested? He said tasted.
Remember you said, do they really know the patient's names and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in a room. It's like you go underneath. It's like an OR underneath the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I go downstairs. My brother and them sign me in. So this is, you going to stay away for your brother? He's going to be like 4 hours. So I'm going to go shopping.
4 hours.
Well, yeah, they by the time it was like 3 hours, but less than that.
No, it takes 2 hours for the prep, but it only takes 45 minutes for the procedure.
Exactly. So then he says, "I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to go to the mall." I says, "All right." I says, "If they got the Spider-Man wobble, I says, buy it for me. They didn't have it. It's all right. Don't worry about it." So anyway, they bring me downstairs. So they put me in the room, right? Like in a little room. The nurse comes in. She hits my arm. She's doing the OR, prepping me, right? So I was a little nervous about getting knocked out. So then the Dr. Sean walked by, the guy who's going to do it. He said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, how you doing?" He goes, "I'm a little nervous. I've only been knocked out once." I said,
Did he only say, "How you doing"?
No, so I was thinking about what you said when he came to me, Alex. So he says, "Listen, Tony, you'll be fine." He knew my name right away, but he did have a chart on him. He says, "How are the comics going?" I said, "Oh, they're going pretty good." I said, "Shit, so he knows I'm a CGC deal. So Alex might be wrong. This guy might know." So he goes, then he goes like this. "I thought of you, Alex. If I had my phone, I'm going to call me." He goes, "Don't worry." He goes, "You're the fourth one of the day." I says, "I don't know if that's good or bad." He said, "I'm the fourth one." Alex, would that be good or bad? I think he wants to go home.
Well, no, you want a guy who's done. My guy has done over 4,000 in his lifetime.
He's saying, "I do it so much, it's nothing. You're in good hands. Just don't worry about it. It's nothing."
Well, yeah, unless, huh?
But Alex, 4 in 1 day? He says, "Yeah, I'm done after this. Well, I got to do office work."
But wait a minute.
The picture Phil's got on behind him that he had comments. Mm-hmm. He's jealous that that this guy was not kissing him.
I saw that. That did look a little wild.
Wait a minute. Let's see it live. Hold on a second. One topic at a time.
Yeah, I'm getting confused.
Okay, you're going to give me a headache. Oh, because he put the picture back up again.
Yeah, you know me. I got ADT after all. So then, Alex, I said, "Sean, do you mean I'm number 4?" He goes, "Yeah, don't worry about it." He says, "This will be in and out." He told me it only took about, like you said, maybe 35 minutes. You were quick.
Hey, Tony, you're on Gabnet. You're number 1. We're number one.
What did he say? Oh, I asked him this, Alex, because I couldn't go in there. I had to call them.
You asked him? Did you kill him?
Yeah. You know what I did? I says last night, when I got home the other night, I was a little sick for the anesthesia, so I slept upstairs by my mom's apartment. I says, I didn't want to sleep near the dogs because Pebbles likes to lay on my feet. So I said, listen, I called him up. I said, this may sound stupid, I said, but I know I can't go near married women, and kids. That's no problem, I said. But I got a stupid question. No question is stupid, all right? I says, can my dogs lay on my feet? Yeah, don't worry about the pets. Don't worry about it. You're not going to kill them. All right. I mean,
the worst that could happen is you could see them in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, so he says, you're fine, he says. I said, all right.
Okay.
My brother, that was it. It went, Alex, you're right. It went smooth.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just taking my medicine before I go
to sleep. The only thing is they put you out. They didn't put me out.
I was going to ask, I saw the picture. Were you up for that?
Yes, I was awake.
How did you, Alex, was that painful? I was going to ask you that.
Of course it was painful. He is a masochist. He loves pain.
No, they turned me into Patrick Blazik is what they did.
Alex, that had to be hard. No, you didn't jump?
No, they numbed me from the waist down. I couldn't feel anything.
I was going to say, I don't know how you did that up. Alex, when the guy came in, the anesthesiologist, he goes like this. How's everything going? He says, oh, I know you like, so he said, what TV shows you like? So I like comedy. He says, I like Lucy. I says, I like Seinfeld.
Did you send him any coffee, by the way? You didn't send him coffee.
I had a couple of cups, even though they said, so then he goes like this, Dr. Lou goes like this. He goes, don't be like George. I said, well, I like George on the show. He says, and the next thing I know, I was in recovery.
I used to sound like him when I was on coke.
I know, this is the medicine they suit me up with, Alex. I don't know how you stood up for that. I would have been a nervous wreck.
What do you mean?
Told you they numbed him up.
It's called a spinal. You don't feel a damn thing. And then they gave me some I don't know, happy pills or something, some happy stuff, and I was kind of half in, half out. But then when I had to get up, when it was over, I wanted to get up and just go home, and I couldn't for 3 hours because I had to wait to unnumb.
Oh yeah, you probably really.
When I had my stents, the heart stents.
Yeah.
I was talking to the doctor, looking at a screen. I could see where the probe was.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the shots of that they took at the time, right in back of you now, of your stents.
Yeah. You know what's weird though, when he goes, and then when he says, I'm going to put the IV in, it was already in now. He says, all right, I'm going to give you a little medication that's going to relax you, Tony. Just think good thoughts. And the next thing I know, I'm in the recovery room.
No.
He came walking by. He says, what was the last thing you said? I says, George Costanza. Oh, you remember that? I says, yeah, I says, now you're done. And he says, how come I don't remember things? He says, that's how
when I've been put out for stuff, it's like they edit 25 minutes of your life out.
What is that? How do they do that?
How do they do that? They put that in your veins, and you go into you're not exactly out, oddly enough.
Was I sleeping, Alex? That's what I was going to ask him. Was I sleeping?
Boy, just shut up, Tony.
I know.
Doctor, and we hope so.
Did you have a dream?
No, I wanted to dream of my mother or something. I didn't dream of shit.
You don't have any dream at all.
I don't have nothing. I just wasn't waking up, Alex.
You've been put out, haven't you, Phil?
Yeah, I had a colonoscopy.
Did they ever revive you?
Ago. I was out.
This is the guy who beat me on the rugs.
Now, what is it? So it looks like Jeff. It looks like he's got a power outage.
Really? Poor Charlie was out for 2 days down there.
You have any lights on there, Jeff?
He's muted.
I mean, that's full open kissing there. Oh my God.
Yeah. I know that's
would you get rid of that, Phil? Get rid of that, Phil, because it really is distracting.
Look at the other person staring at him like, what's going on?
That's a tongue kiss.
He kissed her on the cheek.
That was not a cheek kiss. That was a full-on down the throat.
You are just
behind the teeth.
That was standing there and got that tongue down your throat.
Yeah. That tongue was so far down her throat and his, that they got yesterday's lunch out of the other one's teeth. That's how far down it was.
Mm-hmm.
Stay with carpet and linoleum. Comedy's not your thing.
I feel a little tired.
But
Nice seeing you.
You know, I just find it, and I found it in bad taste when they did it to Obama, and I find it in bad taste. I would find it in bad taste if anybody did it to Trump, and they didn't. The guy's giving his State of the Union address, which is a useless thing anyway, but he was giving it, and all of a sudden you got Marjorie Taylor Greene heckling him. I mean, that woman should have been thrown out of the room.
That's not right. That's no respect.
Joe Biden was giving it. You know,
she yelled out "liar." And
yeah,
you know, nobody.
It was true.
Is that I heard?
AOC didn't do that when Trump was giving his speech.
And you know, that's I think exactly what they said to Obama. What the guy shouted out, and the Republicans came down on him. They didn't do anything to her.
No, they're getting worse.
Yeah.
Now, what did they do to Santos? Did he say anything? Do anything?
No. What happened with Santos was he wanted to get down closer in front or something, and he bumped into Romney. And Romney said, "Why don't you just get out of here? You don't belong. You don't belong in the Senate or in the Congress, rather."
And Romney does. All right.
Romney does. I mean,
he does because he's a senator.
He's a senator.
Yeah.
And
he didn't lie to get elected.
He didn't lie to get elected.
Yeah. Well,
please
so
don't
Santos,
don't stand up for Santos, okay?
But Santos is a congressman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to stand up for him. He
and wasn't
he all the time.
Here we go.
Wasn't he part of that the function that was there for the State of the Union?
Didn't you watch it?
Yeah, I did. You know, as much as I could stand, because Biden twisted so many facts. You know, there was 500,000 jobs.
I listened to Trump every one of his speeches.
There was 500,000 jobs. Sure, there were. If you want to work in a hotel laundry, or you're a maid, or in some sort of service trade, or
no clue
that's where, or barista. That's where the jobs went.
Well, listen.
So what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but
then why are you bringing it up?
Because he's touting,
doesn't matter where they're from.
No, what you're saying, Phil, is that some jobs are worthwhile and others aren't worthwhile.
Well, some are worth more than others.
I'll tell you something. You know who has the most important job, so far as I'm concerned? The guy who, for instance, someplace cleans toilets, because he's cleaning my shit. Okay,
well, after carpet conventions are the worst.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not saying that jobs aren't worthwhile.
No, you just said that, Phil. That's what you implied. That's what you implied.
Now, you can imply anything you want from what I said. It's just that the jobs that he created weren't high-paying jobs that give a leg up to our country.
It doesn't matter.
No, all those tech jobs.
But there are people who don't have say it, Brian. You know what I was going to go at.
Phil, don't start saying these tech jobs are going away in California, because that's bullshit. Everything that happened with COVID, shut up for 1 second. Everything that's happened for COVID, everybody ramped up.
Right.
Everybody ramped up. And now they're going back and looking at all this stuff, and they say, well, there's no COVID money, so now they got to start trimming back down. They need to start getting back to reality. And that's what's going on in the tech world. Everyone juiced up too much in that time, and now it's coming back down, and now they're looking at it going, wow, why do we have so many people here? We need to start cutting, because all this juice money that they're getting, all this juice they're getting, isn't there anymore.
That's true. That's what caused all the inflation, or a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't say it's because of Biden. Well, it wasn't Biden's fault, because everybody started hiring twice as many people as they needed to.
Well, you couldn't get anybody.
You can't, because you're a Republican.
No, you can't. You can't hire people. People don't want to work on a lot of jobs, and that's why I thought this Chat GBT was so interesting, because
here we go back to that again.
Eventually, what's his name?
Google is building a much better replacement for it. The CEO of Google was on the business news today, Phil.
Yeah, he came back to work.
ChatGPT is for people like our former president. It doesn't take much to use, and it's not accurate. Google is going to come up with something accurate.
Well, Google hasn't come up with anything yet, and the bottom line is that this technology is
What do you mean they haven't come up with anything yet? What do you think they're using to run Google?
They're using,
You don't think? Correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie. Aren't they using artificial intelligence for part of Google?
Yeah.
You ever use LBD, whatever. I mean, you have an iPhone. You ever use iMessage?
iMessage?
Yeah, iPhone to iPhone when you text each other.
No,
talk to your phone. How about when you talk to your phone for directions, like I know you do?
Yeah, I do that.
That's artificial intelligence.
Yep.
All right. Well, bottom line is that isn't creating the. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. But what this ChatGPT is doing is it's learning what it has to do, and it'll eventually do it on its own.
Well, so does your map thing.
Yeah.
And that's been around for
very
10
basic
years,
way.
Phil.
My map thing is not writing technical papers.
Somebody just wrote, Bernice wrote, how do you listen to Phil's nonsense?
No.
And then Louise,
tell her to get on here and say it herself.
Louise Zeitlin said, Phil is totally useless. Good night.
Well, Louise Zeitlin
cannot deal.
Is a
AI, Google AI.
Google AI. So anyway, as I said, I think Biden's speech was ChatGPT. You know.
You think they used that?
Oh yeah. Well, he was yelling. I mean, he
wasn't yelling one time. Even when he was heckled, he didn't raise his voice.
She did heckle him, I heard, right? She yelled lie at your girlfriend.
Forget about her for right now. The
I was so happy.
Why do you watch that useless stuff? You wasted 3 hours of your life.
Yeah.
Well, I used to watch those, and I used to listen to every word coming out and all that stuff, and take everything. And then, man, now I don't listen to them anymore, and I'm not missing a thing. It's the same thing. They're going to talk about the exact same garbage.
Yeah, they're saying that the economy is so good.
Just like Trump did.
Just like Trump did. Yeah.
Because the economy was good. Yeah.
So the newest thing because of Marjorie Trash Can Green, her yelling lie. Now the fact checkers are out there. She is backpedaling a lot of things in the past couple of weeks. Her homophobic comments a couple of weeks ago. Her racist comments ever since she's been in Congress. Right. She's anti-Jewish. She's anti-Semitic. But now she's backpedaling all that stuff. So watch. Give it a week and she'll backpedal the liar thing.
You know, it's funny that everybody accuses people of being anti-Semitic or lying when they're actually the ones that are doing it, you know?
Right.
How's that where she's concerned?
Well, I'm not going to support her because, she's making her own bed, but I don't support Ilhan Omar either, who they want
Ilhan Omar?
Yeah,
who's that? Is that Elon Musk's Muslim girlfriend? Who is that? Ilhan Omar.
That is the woman that has said that the Jews are just in it for the Benjamins.
No, you didn't say Jews.
She said that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on. To begin with, remember that she is a Muslim, and she is rooting for the home team. Okay.
No, she's an American.
And that she's seen her people be literally many times harmed a great deal by the Jewish state. Okay.
And the thousands of missiles that Hamas
believe me, the amount of missiles that Hamas has don't amount to a hill of beans compared to the weaponry that the state of Israel has. The state of Israel is you know about guns. The state of Israel is the #1 distributor of weapons.
Yes, Uzis.
And, so I mean, don't tell me that they need help for their to defend themselves.
Well, there were citizens. How many people were killed in Jerusalem last week in attacks by terrorists that
I don't know how many were there.
Yeah, how many were there?
I think there were 98. Jeff, do you follow the Jewish news?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And neither does Phil.
Yeah, I do.
You know, when we were eating sushi Monday night, he started talking Republican politics, and the fish left his plate.
Right in his belly. Come over here, you.
Yeah, it left and went in my tummy.
What, Jeff? Is there a reason why you don't have any lights on there?
Yeah. There is.
Why?
Well,
His energy bill's
somebody
too high.
else's House.
What?
I'm in somebody else's house.
You're in somebody else's house?
Do they know you're there?
Yeah, that's what I
Are
was
you
thinking.
robbing it?
Do you know that?
You're in the
What's
middle
gonna
of a
happen when they
burglary
come
and
home?
calling this show.
He's got another stolen car out front he doesn't want anybody to know about.
I would think the light. I would think
the-
the light from his computer would be giving him enough light that we could see him better. Because we could see Charlie last week, and because his iPhone.
He had a lantern.
No, but he also had an
Charlie-
iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he had a
I had a
lantern.
lantern that
okay.
was behind the iPhone. That
Yeah.
lit up my face.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, Phil. Well, I mean, I just think that I mean, heckling the president while he's giving his State of the Union message is it's considered inappropriate.
Well, Kevin McCarthy didn't rip up his speech. And he even stood a couple of times when the president said, are we going to eliminate or deal with Social Security and Medicare? And almost unanimous, people stood and said that they're not going to touch Social Security and Medicare. So now what are you guys going to do
Another lie by the
shout
Republicans.
false
Somebody else
claims
tell Ron
that
Johnson and
Republicans
Well, there
Wanted-
are already some Republicans who've already tried to float a bill to do away with.
That's
it.
right.
loaded, but there was
And that's
almost
what
unanimous.
Biden said. Biden said, contact me and I'll give you a copy of the bill that they've already floated.
Yeah.
And what almost unanimous people stood up and said they weren't going to change it. So what are you going to do?
Lies. You believe this stuff?
It's another talking point.
I didn't see how. I understand they didn't unanimously get up and say that it wasn't
almost
true.
unanimous.
What do you mean? What's almost unanimous?
Well, there might have been a
That's
few
the
people that didn't
85%
stand up.
thing, like in
Roe v.
technology.
Wade was settled law.
I don't know. I saw a few clips of the thing, and the Republicans, they must all be like handicapped because they don't stand up and applaud.
Well, they stood up for that one. So I guess.
Wait a minute. Are you the guy that told me earlier you didn't see the speech last night?
I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of it, and then.
What do you mean you saw a lot of it when it was broadcast originally?
No. I saw it live.
Mm-hmm.
But at a point, I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, then you know how.
Like
get
us
lied
with
to
you.
like that.
Now you know how we feel.
Yeah. How long are you going to be lied to until you just say, okay, I'll turn on?
Well,
something
you have to ask that question about Trump
all
and
have
me.
a drink.
I got water.
Yeah.
We listened to 4 State of the Union addresses from our
Yeah.
former president. Talk about all the lies.
Well,
This is as much as I take from you. When I drink all that, then I'm done with you.
When he
what
has,
is that? It's water, right?
Just water.
Yeah. When he has to pee, he's through. Yeah. Anyway, so let me see here. What else was happening?
Did you get your backup battery, Alex?
Yes, I got it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I probably will never have a use for it, but it's nice to.
Unlike Mike Allen, I assume you know how it works.
Yeah, I know how it works. Yeah.
After Jack's show, Charlie and I last week spent a little time with Mike to explain how to charge it and then how to plug it into the phone. So
The one you sent me, it has a light on it. You press the on button.
Yeah.
and-
yeah, it's the same,
and
same
an
one.
LED light.
Yeah, it's very good. It's just that I'm never going to
Oh,
need it,
actually,
and when
Alex actually, Alex, yours is top of the line compared to ours. It's a newer
Really?
technology. Yeah.
yeah, well, I doubt if I'll ever need it, but if I do, I'll probably say, where did I put that thing?
Well, Charlie doubted if he needed it, and look what happened to him. Without it, he wouldn't have had his phone. He wouldn't have had the communication.
Yeah. He knows he's going to need it another year from now, too. That's the sad thing.
And listen, we never know when we're going to need it in New York. You know, we're known for our blackouts.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
No, there could be an earthquake in the Bay Area. Sometimes, and things like getting cash from the ATM, you won't be able to do. Communicating, you won't be able to do. There might be several days or weeks until, if it's a large enough disaster. Look in Turkey and Syria, where they just had, what was it, 2,500 people killed, and who knows how many
I heard
more?
it was 100,000 last.
Yeah,
Wow.
100,000.
That have been hurt, not
They
killed.
were killed.
Really? Because the last amount I saw was only something like 5,000.
7,000. I saw.
7,000?
The good thing is the majority of them, 85%, like Phil says, are
Republican.
all Republicans. So we're okay.
I knew it. I knew it.
Hold up the sing, Brian. Where's your thing?
I knew he was going to say that.
Okay, check the box.
Jeez. That's the one he always says, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What I read was that this expert estimated that by the time we finish counting everything, it could be as many.
Oh yeah, they had some gut wrenching video. There's like all this rubble, and this little baby is there. This little boy, maybe 3 years old, and he's saying, "Where's my mommy?" And they're like pulling him from the rubble. I mean, cement.
And his mother's dead. His mother was dead.
Yeah.
There was an infant that was under the rubble for 60 hours, and they saved it. And I don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Has it been 60 hours have passed since the earthquake? Okay.
That was this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was video of a couple of buildings collapsing. It was like a deck of, the house of cards that just.
There were a lot of pictures of buildings collapsing. But then again, you have to remember construction is not as sound there as it is here in this country.
Well, you remember what we had in the marina in '89.
Yeah, sure. I was in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, an earthquake like they had in Turkey and New York City would bring a lot of the city to ground.
There's two
I
earthquakes.
think there's a little bit different building codes than here and there.
Well, there was what 7.8.
7.8 is a hell of an earthquake.
Yeah. What was the other one? There was two.
The last one we had here in '89 was 7.1. Look at all the damage it did here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, but
but nevertheless, a lot of buildings in the Bay Area are built to withstand earthquakes. Absolutely. In the marina, the problem we had was the ones in the marina didn't, and they were also built on landfill.
Yep.
So when they rebuilt them, they put them on rolling foundations. Okay.
Yeah, they said it was like the peninsula rolled up like that, and the marina at the end, just sort of whipped up.
Well, the thing is that if you have a rolling foundation, what they do is they take the foundation, they put it on rollers. So then when there's an earthquake, it can go back and forth with the earthquake. If it's just nailed down to the ground and it's rigid will fall apart.
Well, that's what they were doing to the skyscrapers, like the Bank of America building is on the rollers. But, these duplexes that are in the marina, all they did was make them put shear wall up, and then they also put bolts that went through to the brick that was outside.
Are you saying that's what they did after the earthquake?
Yeah.
No, you're wrong, Phil. You're absolutely wrong. They put
I know.
They put them all on rolling foundations, Phil. I lived there.
How can you put a duplex on a rolling foundation?
You put them on a rolling foundation. The foundation can give. It can roll.
Well, what was happening with a lot of these buildings in the marina, they were just sitting on the foundation, nailed to it. So what they did was they put bolts, bolts that went into the foundation through the plate, through the sill plates. And
got it all wrong, Phil.
They also,
got it all
whenever
wrong.
there was brick, they had these plates.
By the way, new show coming on Gabnet soon. Science with Phil.
That would be interesting.
Well, you know, they had these plates with bolts that went through it that would hold up the facade.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I know that what they did is they replaced entire foundations with rolling foundations. That's what they did throughout the entire marina.
I don't know.
What do you mean, no? I lived there, Phil. I was in the middle of that earthquake. I know what they did.
Well, I was in the middle of that earthquake, too.
No, you weren't. You were over in the East Bay somewhere.
Well, that's where I was living, but when when the earthquake happened, I was at the stadium coming out of the bar.
So was everybody. Anyway.
I was coming out of the bar, and it took me 13 hours to get home.
Yeah.
You and the Congressman Santos were together, right?
Yeah, that guy had to total down weeks. That guy.
Santos was pitching that day.
And my car was on Greenwich and Lombard. And because another friend drove, I parked on Greenwich and Lombard, and he drove to the. My friend Paul drove to the stadium.
You didn't drop by my place to see if I was okay.
I did. Susan and I. Wait a minute. Susan and I came to your place about 3 days after the earthquake, and I was helping people. I was helping people get stuff out of their houses. Because certain houses were red tagged, I was able to get in. And so I was able to get their personal belongings, put them in bags, toss them out the window, because some of these houses in the marina were going to be demolished.
Actually, very few of them ever got demolished. There was one at the Visadero
and Jefferson.
And I think it was Jefferson that was leaning like this, and they managed to...
Well, yes. Well, that was my ex-wife lived in that building before we moved to Moraga, and the across the street, the building fell 2 stories down. The third story
one all over. No, that was 2 blocks down from me, and it was a 3-story building that became 1 story. And the story has it. What's fun about it, is that there was a person on the top floor when it happened, and he rode it right to the bottom and got out a window.
Walked out. Yeah.
Walk right out. Yeah. Yes, Charlie.
Yes, according to the New York Times, as of 11 p.m. Eastern Time, the death toll at the Turkey earthquake has passed 15,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It'll probably go close to 50.
Well, they have no idea how many people are still buried, and
Yeah, it was nighttime. People were asleep when this thing hit.
Yeah, and that was the problem. They were
find a lot more dead people as they do,
Was it nighttime? The videos that I saw, the buildings falling down, looked like daytime, but
it happened at 4:10 a.m. Yeah, so
the aftershocks, Phil.
The aftershocks had the buildings collapse.
Yeah, one of the aftershocks was 7.2.
I thought 7.5, 7.2, something like that. Yeah. Pretty heavy duty.
Wow. And it was all because everything was upset because of
Turkey has gone up. Turkey's a lot more expensive now.
It's full of tryptophan.
Yeah, it was pretty it was a horrible thing.
It is a horrible
thing. But again, you got to feel sorry for people who are in the middle of something like that. But we also have to remember that ultimately, nature trumps everything.
Yeah.
And you're going to have earthquakes. When we lived in the Bay Area, we assumed we were going to have earthquakes. And if you live in the Bay Area and you haven't felt an earthquake, then you're probably brain dead. Because we get little ones. We get little tremors, and everybody goes, "Did you feel that yet last night? Did you feel that?"
Well,
but they don't amount to anything.
For the record, I did go to your house within a couple of days of the earthquake to see if you needed any help, and all you did was show me your crack in the living room.
Did I show you my crack in the living room?
Showed me your crack.
Did we smoke any of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Couldn't get
and I kept
that out of the way.
I kept that crack in the wall. They wanted to, paint it and fix it and everything. And I told them, just leave it. I want it there because I can point to people and say, look, that's the earthquake.
San Andreas fault.
If it's got an opening, you can stick business cards in it.
Yeah, right. No, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little,
hairline crack.
Hairline crack. Well, it was a little.
Those units didn't have sheetrock. They had like plaster and lath.
Well, there was but there was also like a canvas over it or something like that, as I remember. There was Really? It was. But anyway, so I went through that earthquake. So did everybody,
Yeah.
But I was in an area that really got hit by it, and then I, at that point, went to Florida, moved to Florida for about 3 months. So while they were doing the apartment, I had somebody staying there, and they actually moved them up to the top floor to an empty apartment because they were working below, and there was going to be a lot of noise and drilling and things like that. By the time I got back, the building was all fixed and okay, But it was amazing to me that where we lived was in the marina, which was very heavily hit by this earthquake because it is all on
liquid soil.
What it was all landfill for the Pan American Exposition, and after the Pan American Exposition was over with, they then started building apartments there and buildings there for people to live in. And the only thing left was the Palace of Fine Arts from the Pan American Exposition, and it was quite something. And it was quite a quake, and it was scary. It was very scary.
I was watching TV, waiting for a pizza to be delivered. My girlfriend was sitting here, and the quake hit. Now we're not in San Francisco, we're in Fremont, and I said, that's no big deal. I've been through worse. And she says, let's watch the ball game, and turn the TV on right when the news helicopter is going by the Bay Bridge and showing the Bay Bridge collapse.
The Bay Bridge, the collapse, yeah.
And in the distance, you could see the marina, the smoke from the fires.
You know what amazed what amazed me? My girlfriend was with me at the time. Actually, the funny part about it was we had broken up, and this kind of made us come back together again, this event. But anyway, we go up to Visadero, and then we come down the other end, and that's when the earthquake hits. And I noticed something was wrong because my car was just bouncing down the street. I put the brakes on, and it keeps going. Yeah. And then finally, when I got to the bottom, I suddenly noticed that the wires up above that the buses use for electricity were all swaying back and forth, and people were pouring out into the street. And I said, my God, what just happened? We must have had an earthquake. So I turned around, I went back, and as we're driving down to Visadero, she says to me, look, that building, there's some frontage that has fallen to the ground. And I said, well, look over there, that building used to be there. And we went back to the apartment, tried to get out of the car on her side, and she couldn't get out because the curb had gone up about 6 inches, enough that you couldn't open the door.
Well, the Central Freeway there, too.
Yeah, so what happened, and this was amazing about me, so finally I said to her, I think we really should try to go to Marin and go see my business manager. And maybe we can even stay over there or whatever, but let's just get out of here. So as we're leaving, I'm driving the car out, and all of a sudden I look over at the street to the right of me, and people are really, having to deal with this thing, and I got out to kind of see if I could help. And she said, no, let's just get going across the bridge, And I went, well, hold on a second. I'm very calm. I was amazed at how calm I was. And then finally said, okay, now we'll get in the car. We'll drive across the bridge. Well, how do we know the bridge isn't going to just, And I said, look, it's only 1.5 minutes across that bridge, okay, if it's not packed.
The Golden Gate.
Yeah, it's the Golden Gate. It will make it across, okay. No, we can't. And she's the one that's panicking. And I thought in that kind of situation, she'd be the one who would be calm, and I'd be the one who was panicking. And I was just being, oh, come on, let's just get over to Marin. And then we got over to Marin and we went to my business manager's place.
How long were you over in Marin?
Well, I can't remember what I did from there. I don't. We did go back to the city. There was
no electricity in the city, though.
There was no electricity. You're right, but I managed to get back to the city, park the car, go up to my apartment. I think could I get in the garage? No, I don't think I could. I went back upstairs, and we went to sleep. But not after we didn't just absolutely have real hot monkey sex. and I wondered about that because I interviewed somebody who was an expert on tragedies and things like that, and I said, and I noted this to him about how my girlfriend and I were in the middle of the earthquake, and that night we had sex with each other almost better than any sex we had ever had in our relationship. It was just really, and he said, oh, that happens all the time. He said, people have sex with each other after something like that because there's something primal in us that wants to maintain the species.
And then right when you were getting ready to have an orgasm, the doorbell rang and it was Phil.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Phil. But anyway.
No, it was Trump at Mar-a-Lago, right?
Anyway, we woke it up. We woke up the,
He said every one of them.
He was Jewish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we had that night. There was something about the smoke in the air, right, and the lights flashing, that kind of made it really interesting. Yeah, and then the next morning we woke up, and it was the sunniest day, and it was just the brightest day you could ever imagine. And I was told that in the 1906 earthquake, the day afterwards was the same way.
Wow.
It was just a beautiful, beautiful day.
You ever notice that before an earthquake that the air is very still and it's quieter?
They always used to talk about earthquake weather.
Yeah.
I never saw that as a...
Yeah, when was the 06 earthquake? What month is it?
Was it the same month? Was it
October? Oh, okay, hold on a second. Echo, what day of the week was the 1906 San Francisco earthquake?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake struck the coast of Northern California at 5:12 a.m. on Wednesday, April 18th. With an estimated moment magnitude of 7.9 and a maximum Mercalli intensity of 11.
Now you see that 7.9 was more than the Loma Prieta.
I was wondering, what the day of the week, if the day of the week was the same day of the week.
It was Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Yeah, but it was 5 in the morning, whereas it was 5 at night when the earthquake hit.
5:04, 12 hours difference. Except I think she said 12:04 or 12:05.
Well, what destroyed San Francisco wasn't the earthquake.
It was the fire.
It was the fire.
Yeah.
Because what it did is the city wasn't ready for it, and all the water mains were not made earthquake proof because they didn't have an earthquake before that. They didn't even think about it. And what it did is just completely destroyed all the water mains, and when a fire broke out, they couldn't put it out. So,
I don't know if you saw Alex. I don't know if you saw the San Bruno fires, but that was really crazy. So it was like around the sunset time, and your San Bruno Mountains, all those homes there. Well, I think one gas line burst and caught on fire, and they couldn't shut anything off. So it went to the next house and the next house and the next house, and there are all these homes on this neighborhood that were on fire.
That was during the Loma Prieta?
No. This was about 10 years ago, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 11 homes, I think, that burned, right?
Yeah, and it was crazy to see just this home and just filling the. It wasn't like it was a structure fire. It was all the gas.
Well, they thought at first the jet crashed.
Yeah, because it's near the airport.
Yeah, near the airport. They sent out people and they did a head count, all the jets that took off and landing in that time, because the planes, when they take off, they go kind of over that area.
My question here is, what kind of situation, like an earthquake or like a tornado or like any one of a number of other things can happen in an area. Which one frightens you the most?
Earthquake.
Probably an attack, some sort of military attack.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about natural.
Natural. Alex said natural. Military.
Making.
I don't know. Earthquakes don't bother me.
Earthquakes don't bother me either because I've lived with them all my life.
Fire.
You don't know when they're coming.
I think tornadoes scare the crap out of me.
Yeah, but you know when the weather's going to be bad, and you know when the possibility of a tornado.
Yeah, but you don't know where the tornado's going to go, because they are you hear here comes a tornado. Well, do you just stand your ground or you try and run? But that tornado can just run wherever you're running. So your best.
Then they still build again. I don't get these people.
Well, it's not difficult to build a new trailer. So
all you need is a hose. All you need is a hose.
Because I hear about these tornadoes hitting trailer parks, and I say that you have to expect that you're going to have a problem with your home when the only thing anchoring it to the ground is a garden hose. So I mean
those things, they're tin cans, they're on stilts, and a good gust of wind are going to blow them over anyway.
Yeah, but I mean,
Roma pre-had an earthquake. If you went out to East Livermore Trailer Park, it looked like somebody grabbed the trailers and twisted them a little bit. Yeah. The whole trailer.
Well, I think it was Will Durst who once described tornadoes as God's bowling alley.
Yeah.
Except for this, the ball doesn't come at you; the pin comes at you.
Yeah, but I mean, it was really, in every area you live in, there's some kind of climatological problem that can hit. New York, we don't have much. I mean, we have probably snow is the worst thing we can get, but we haven't even gotten that in quite a while. What else is there, Tony?
You know what scares me now over here, at least where we live? Since the sewer systems, they're redoing them, is when we get heavy rain now in this area of Queens, it floods the basements if the sewers can't take the water. Biden actually came to this part of Queens, Alex, when the basement apartment about 5 blocks away flooded up. The people died and couldn't take the water. They couldn't get out. It was an illegal apartment, and there was one entry out.
Hurricane Sandy, when all those people were out on the rug, the mattresses or whatever, floating in between buildings and stuff.
Yeah, or up in their attics.
Yeah, occasionally we'll get a hurricane here.
That's when Trump showed us. He got a little boat, was handing out rolls of toilet paper.
Remember, he was flipping the toilet paper.
That was it. That was in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
And he was sitting there throwing the toilet paper at people. I mean, giving them a great sense of dignity.
It looked so cheap. Like, here, take it, you bum. It looked bad. It really did look bad, Phil. He was flipping it at them.
He wouldn't send FEMA money out to Puerto Rico because they weren't.
They should have threw it back at him and said,
"They weren't Americans."
Yeah,
what he said.
I think they had plenty of aid going to them, including water that sat on runways and spoiled. Bottles of water. Millions of them.
Well, Puerto Ricans are Americans.
Yeah.
Not according to Trump.
Trump didn't realize
I don't think
that.
that's true.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have said that.
No, but he
did say that. He said they aren't Americans, and they are Americans.
Yeah, they are Americans. He was there giving aid and trying to do what he does.
If he runs again, you're going to vote for him?
If he runs, if he's the nominee, yes.
He already said 5 times no.
If he's not the nominee, then I hope that it's DeSantis.
And if it's not either one of them?
Then it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'd vote for her.
He'll do anything for her.
I don't think.
You'd carpet the whole place for this one.
I don't know that DeSantis is necessarily a shoo-in for the nomination.
Nobody's a shoo-in.
Or that he is even going to do it.
Yeah, I think he wants it though. I think he's afraid of Trump.
No, I don't think he's afraid of it. Nobody's afraid of Trump.
Trump's nothing.
I don't know. I think Trump got dirt on people.
No, Trump will go after him in his Trumpian way and he'll wound him too badly, and it will affect, if he does get nominated, it'll create a problem.
And if neither one of them get the nod, Trump, DeSantis could kick Trump out of Florida.
I don't think so. But, you think about it. Florida, natural disasters, you got hurricanes.
Yeah.
New York, I guess, you could have...
we get hurricanes here,
Yeah, but your snows, you have heavy amounts of snow that shuts the city down.
Compared to Florida, they do, yeah.
Well, no.
Well, I think you want to talk about a natural disaster. What was COVID to New York? New York was probably the worst hit city in America when it came to COVID. Am I right, Charlie?
Yeah. COVID hit New York the hardest. Probably L.A. and maybe parts of Texas.
Well, because we were also the first city to get it.
Yes.
Because all those people are coming over, from Europe on planes, and we didn't know what was coming over here, and all of a sudden, we're all of a sudden all our hospitals are filling up and overflowing.
They were taking them out in body bags.
Stands up there and says, "It's no worse than a cold. Don't worry about it."
Trump got the hospital ships into New York. He also, got all of the respirators that they needed.
He did.
And yes, thousands.
You're questioning that fact, Alan.
All I know is, no matter all of us on this panel right now, the only thing that's going to be guaranteed natural disaster again is Charlie in the dark a year from now.
Wait a minute, the winter's not over with. He may be.
That's right. We still got 6 more weeks to winter.
Charlie, if you need anything, I'll send the package down for you.
Charlie, have we talked about your shirt? What's your shirt?
Oh, that's April the 8th, 2024. Total eclipse visible here in Austin.
Oh wow.
Except you won't be able to power up your telescope because you won't have any electricity.
Yeah.
Most telescopes don't require electricity.
Hey, Alan, it's funny. You were during the earthquake. You were with your girlfriend. Was that righty or lefty?
What?
I can't believe I'm coming to visit.
I don't know. Who can figure out what he just said?
He said he was with his girlfriend during the earthquake. I was wondering, was that righty or lefty?
He's actually funny, I think, Alex. He's one of
Really?
Really? I actually find him
the only other person on this panel, the only other person on this panel that finds him funny is Phil.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah, I think he's entertaining. I thought it was funny.
Who are you talking about, me or Phil?
Well, you're funny too in your own way, but like the way you fight with each other, I enjoy it.
And you're talking to the guy who just had seeds implanted in
That's
his
true,
body.
right? He's like my brother, voice of reason. That's right, Brian.
What type of seeds? Were they bird seeds like sunflower seeds?
They're marigolds.
Marigolds.
They are.
They sprout the marigolds.
They are radioactive seeds.
Yes,
I'm going to be like Peter Parker. I hope I can crawl the walls. I always wanted to be Peter Parker.
Alex, how long did they take to get on whatever they're doing?
What? What do you mean?
Well, aren't they gold and they're supposed to deteriorate or something?
They're good for about 3 months, and then no more.
Yeah.
Now, the first time you went to get the seeds, Alex, they were out of them, or they didn't have them?
No, what they didn't have is your perineum. They have to go in there. That's where they go in, and there's a device they have to place there. They forgot to order it. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And if I had waited 1 more week, I wouldn't have been able to get my prostate seeds because then they closed down all the hospitals for what they considered non-essential surgery. Okay, so I was very lucky, and I got my review the other day. I'm.
You're gonna live for another year till they get tested.
Well, there's no. I have nothing.
Yeah.
And what's the term they use? Non-detectable.
Well, I got mine on Monday. Well, actually, I had the test Monday. I got the results Tuesday.
What did they say?
Non-detectable.
Okay, we're 2 non-detectables. Let's see what
wait a minute. That was for your brain, though, Phil. I thought.
Yeah, you're right. You got a point there. Hey, Phil, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
I like having you here because I like annoying people. It's my way of doing it.
Well, you're now a New Yorker, and that's what we do.
Charlie, thank you so much, and of course, Tony, glad you joined the Happy Seed Club.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm not gonna die.
and let's see here. Thank you very much, Alan. I can barely see him, but Jeff, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having joined us, and go someplace where you can get light tomorrow night. Also, thanks to Brian as well. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. We'll have another one get together again tomorrow night. In the meantime, Jack Bishop is next. He'll be here with what we like to think of as the intersection. And he'll be taking your calls on Skype at GabNet Live. I'm Alex Bennett. See you tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Night, everybody.